Nasya fall into the category of routine cleansing and rejuvenation of the senses. Many of you already know what neti pots are and how to do neti. I have a quote from a newsletter that I got from the Marshfield Clinic. It says, "Nasal saline irrigation is effective for most nasal problems. Some people find nasal irrigation relieves symptoms and reduces reliance on over-the-counter decongestants. Nasal irrigation reduces thick secretions and removes infection. A recently published peer-reviewed research article indicated that people with chronic sinus problems benefited from nasal irrigation." And so neti is a wonderful practice, and this would be something to include in your daily routine if you do have recurring nose or sinus issues of any sort. And then more important from an Ayurvedic perspective, because neti comes from the yogic perspective, is the practice of Nasya. And Nasya is when you insert oils into your nasal passages. And if one performs neti without following it by Nasya, it can result in the nasal passages and sinuses ultimately becoming dry, because with the neti pot you're using salt water, and that is drying, has a drying effect. And when the nasal passages dry out, the body's natural defenses kick in, and your body will produce what is referred to as reactive mucus. So we don't want to have that happen. And it is often because of dry conditions that people become prone to sinus imbalances, and that includes using heaters and wood-burning stoves in the winter time. And so it's important as we go into fall and winter to think of keeping your nasal passages oleated. And so you will see in the demonstration how to do that. And I really love the practice of Nasya in particular, and am excited for you to try it out. No Ayurvedic self-care series would be complete without a neti demonstration. So I have my neti pot, which I haven't used in a while because my sinuses have seemed to be okay. But a lot of people in Texas keep telling me if you've never had allergies, you will get them here, because there's a lot of mold here and something called cedar fever. So I am really excited to put these self-care things to the test to see if I can head off allergies for myself and also my family. But I did sterilize my neti pot, and I'm actually using water that I boiled and then cooled to room temperature or body temperature. About a year ago, there was a news story of a couple people who died of a brain-eating amoeba that was in their neti pots. So if you boil the water, that should take care of any microorganisms that could be harmful. And then I have a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt in there, and that's why I keep stirring that, just to stir up the salt. And then the tilt of your head is important with the neti pot. You'll see in my demonstration, if your tilt is wrong, the salt water will go up into your upper sinuses, and that is not what you want to have happen. That stings and hurts and can hurt for several hours after you do neti. So you just want the water to go up one nostril and then here and down the other nostril. This area of the nose is where bacteria form when you get a sinus infection. So just washing that place out, irrigating that place with saline solution will help prevent that. So here goes the demo. And if you're like my son Asher, he walked in when I was doing this one time and he said, "Oh, that's disturbing." So I do half the neti pot on one side and half on the other. Some do a full cup on one side and a full cup on the other. But did you notice the tilt was such that I could look down and watch the stream of water coming out, and the tilt of your chin is important too. So play around with that a little bit, but this is basically it. You can see with my eyes turned, I'd be able to see the water streaming. So hold on, I'll have my back to you a little bit as I do the other side. And then just a little farmer blow there. But be gentle. When you push really hard and use force, it can cause a little bit of inflammation in the mucosal lining of your nasal passages and sinuses. So just be gentle. And I have no pain right now, no stinging whatsoever. It ought to be a pleasant experience. So good luck with your neti pot. The practice of doing neti comes from yoga, and yogis would do neti before doing their pranayama practices, which are the breath exercises, so that they could breathe more freely during those practices. But in the Ayurvedic tradition, it is more important to do the oleation of the nasal passages, more important than neti. And so after you do the neti pot, this is a very important step to oleate your nose. And I have 2 Nasya, this is called the practice of Nasya, 2 Nasya oils. One I use during the day and one before bed. One is called Clarity Within, so it's enlivening, and one is called Serenity Within, so it's settling. And I purchased these from the Ayurvedic practitioner who taught me how to take Ayurvedic Pulse. Her name is Mary Jo Cravata, and her website is shaktiveda.com. And some of her Nasya oils are not posted on the online store. So please consult me, and this is something that would probably require you to go through the consultation process so that I would be able to give a more precise Nasya recommendation for you. But there are Nasya oils that are tridoshic, meaning they are good for Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So because it's the day, I'm going to do my Clarity Within. I don't share this with anybody, so the dropper often will touch my nose. Just do a couple drops in each nostril and then pinch and sniff. I'm again going to support my delicate neck. And I have to admit that I don't do my day one as religiously as my night one, because you'll find that it will just be seeping back out for an hour or two after you do it. And so I often don't like being out and about with oils running down my face, although they do help so much. And so that was just a little demonstration on how to administer Nasya to yourself. If you're uncomfortable with dropping oils into your nose like that, you can also put the Nasya oil on your palm and just take your pinky finger, have your fingernail clipped really short, and stick the oils up your nose and massage as high up as you can reach the inside part of your nose. So that's more of a topical application. When you do the pinching and sniffing and dropping, it's penetrating deeper into those passages. So enjoy your Nasya treatment. If you would like me to create a customized Radiant Living detox and rejuvenation program for you, please email or call to schedule an appointment. My email address is patricia.wickman@gmail.com and my phone number is 715-529-3061. Please visit the Radiant Living website at www.rlyaa.com for more information and pricing.